Do not open another notification yet. Not your messages, not your email, not the news. Give me one uninterrupted minute, because the first input of your day shapes the direction of your focus, and focus determines momentum. You don't need another alert. You need alignment. You woke up today carrying unfinished thoughts, half decisions, unresolved tension. You may not even notice it consciously, but it's there. A slight pressure in your chest, a slight restlessness in your mind, a subtle feeling that something is shifting. This is not panic, it's positioning. Urgency does not always mean danger. Sometimes it means readiness, and you are at a readiness point. The version of you that tolerated distraction is weakening. The version of you that demands clarity is strengthening. That internal conflict is what you've been feeling. You've been consuming more than creating, thinking more than executing, reacting more than directing. And slowly, that pattern has been draining you. Not dramatically, quietly. Quiet drains are the most dangerous because you don't notice the loss immediately. Time leaks, energy leaks, confidence leaks, until one day you realize you are operating below your capacity. That realization is your alert, not from outside, from within. There is a standard inside you that is rising. It no longer accepts excuses easily. It no longer accepts distraction as entertainment. It no longer accepts inconsistency as normal. You are evolving, but evolution demands discipline. This is why this needs to be the first thing you hear. Because before the world pulls at your attention, you must decide your direction. Direction is chosen, not stumbled into. The first hour of your day sets the emotional tone. If you start reactive, you stay reactive. If you start intentional, you stay intentional. You have been waiting for motivation, but motivation is unstable. Structure is stable. Structure creates progress even when emotion fluctuates. Right now you are at a fork. Continue drifting or commit to direction. Drifting feels comfortable. Direction feels demanding. But demand builds capacity. Capacity builds authority. Authority builds confidence. Confidence builds peace. You say you want peace, but peace is earned through discipline. You say you want clarity, but clarity grows through focused action. You say you want growth, but growth requires repetition. This alert is not fear, it is invitation. Invitation to stop postponing the version of you that you already see in your mind. You have imagined the disciplined version, the focused version, the consistent version. But imagination without execution becomes frustration. You feel that frustration sometimes, that quiet disappointment in yourself. Not because you lack ability, but because you know you are capable of more. That awareness is uncomfortable, but it is powerful, because once you see your potential, you cannot comfortably ignore it. You don't need to quit everything today. You don't need dramatic change. You need controlled consistency, small, repeated, disciplined actions. The reason this must come first is because distraction is loud, but discipline is quiet, and quiet decisions shape loud outcomes. If something in you feels slightly exposed while hearing this, that's not guilt, that's growth. Growth feels like pressure before it feels like progress. Stay here, because in the next part, we're going to talk about what happens if you ignore this internal alert and what happens if you finally respond to it. Now let's talk about the two paths in front of you. Not dramatically, not emotionally, logically. If you ignore this internal alert, nothing catastrophic will happen tomorrow. You will simply continue as you are. Same habits, same distractions, same delays. And slowly, your potential will remain unrealized, not destroyed, just unused. Unused potential is silent regret. It doesn't scream. It lingers. You'll feel it in small moments. When you see someone doing what you once imagined for yourself. When you realize time moved faster than your discipline. When you sense you could have been further if you had started earlier. That feeling is not punishment. It's awareness delayed. Now let's look at the other path. You respond, not dramatically, not with loud declarations, but with controlled adjustment. You tighten your focus. You remove one distraction. You commit to one discipline. You repeat it daily. At first, nothing feels different. Then, slowly, something stabilizes. Your confidence grows quietly. Not because others notice, but because you kept a promise to yourself. Self-trust increases. When self-trust increases, hesitation decreases. When hesitation decreases, execution increases. Execution builds momentum. Momentum builds identity. And identity determines results. The strongest shift is not external. It's internal. You stop negotiating with your own potential. You stop convincing yourself that tomorrow is safer. You stop waiting for perfect emotion. You act even when you don't feel like it. That is power. Not loud power, controlled power. You say you want change, but change begins with structure. Structure begins with decision. Decision begins with awareness. And awareness is already here. You felt it before this message, that slight tension, that slight restlessness, that subtle dissatisfaction. That was not negativity. That was readiness. You are not meant to consume endlessly. You are meant to build. You are not meant to react constantly. You are meant to direct. You are not meant to drift. You are meant to move intentionally. Ignoring the alert keeps you average. Responding to it builds expansion. Average is safe. Expansion is uncomfortable. But you no longer feel comfortable staying average. That discomfort is growth knocking. You don't need to overhaul your life today. You need to commit to one aligned action, one habit tightened, one distraction reduced, one standard raised. Repeat that daily. The future version of you is built through repetition, not inspiration. Inspiration fades. Repetition compounds. Compounding creates separation. Separation creates advantage. Advantage creates opportunity. Opportunity rewards the disciplined. You are closer than you think, not because something external is about to explode, but because your internal threshold has shifted. You can no longer tolerate your old patterns. That intolerance is strength. The alert was never about fear, it was about focus. Before this ends, pause. What is the one habit you know would shift your trajectory if you respected it fully? Hold that answer privately, no announcement required, just commitment, because discipline, practiced quietly, produces results loudly. And direction, decided early, protects momentum later. The alert has been heard. Now the response is yours.